city is in the grip of fear. It's in lockdown. We're talking about people who have proven to be unreasonable in the past, and you can only start to imagine the sheer terror that the hostages must be experiencing.
From hostages held in a small downtown cafe on the other side of the world to the rousing debate over terror and torture, there is indeed a line that draws it all together. Our first guest is a former Navy SEAL who retired at the rank of commander after 23 years serving his country. Winner of 2 Bronze Stars and 4 Meritorious Service Medals. Former senator, now congressman after winning in the recent midterms. Let's welcome Montana Republican Ryan Zinke to MidPoint. Congressman, thank you so much for being here today.
Great to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's bring together what we have seen happen in Australia, and we should point out that it is now over. The police actually have the suspect in custody. But we have an Iranian refugee. They're certainly not friends of America. We have an ISIS flag. The people at ISIS, they look to kill innocents on a regular basis. We have an American ally under attack. Do we not have to realize that whether it's a lone wolf or a whack job, there are people out there who are looking to kill us on a daily basis. We must do everything in our power to find them, keep track of them, and take care of them in one way or another before they start killing innocents, no matter where it is.
Well, I agree. I think the first responsibility of the government is protect its citizens. And clearly we're in full retreat overseas. Our allies no longer trust us. Our enemies no longer fear us. And America has to show leadership. And this is what happens when America doesn't lead. No nation is capable of leading other than the United States of America. And I think what we're seeing is a dismantling of our leadership overseas, and it has consequences both overseas and here at home.
We should discuss that as well because, as I mentioned, Australia is an ally, and there have been a lot of discussions in the last couple of months about terrorism going on there. And the Australians have launched strikes as well, part of the effort, if you will, in the Middle East against Syria. So is it not fair to say that when America backs up, it is the rest of the world that will suffer as well, and these people will look to get to us no matter where it is or how it is, but they're going to look to find a way to get to us?
Well, I think that's correct, and it is about momentum. Is when you play defense, all the time, it allows your enemies, to pick and choose where they're going to strike. Certainly in the case of ISIS, there is not a chance that air operations alone are going to be effective against ISIS. So I've always been an advocate really of a 3-pronged attack. First is to secure our southern border, because our southern border now is a nexus between immigration and national security. Secondly, it will take troops on the ground. It will take logistics to make sure we arm our allies with logistics as far as fuel and food and ammunition and intelligence reports. And lastly, we do need to isolate and understand that ISIS is an ideology. It's not a nation state. And seeking energy independence certainly gives us more options in the long-term strategy of this country.
90 seconds or so that we have left, a very defiant former Vice President Dick Cheney was on the Sunday shows where he was talking about defense of the interrogation of terrorist suspects. Let me let you hear this first, then our audience as well.
It's all CIA documentation in here.
Chuck,
it is all CIA
Chuck,
documentation.
if you look at it, and if you look at what the people running the agency said, and what Jose Rodriguez said, who ran the program, was a good man, that, as I said the other day, I won't use the word on your show, it may be family, it's a crock. It's not true.
Congressman, do we need to understand that in this day and age, we need to do what it takes in order to protect ourselves, and sometimes we're going to get our hands dirty?
Well, and certainly, and the report was no doubt partisan. There was no recommendations. Bob Kerrey, Democrat, former Medal of Honor winner, SEAL Team 1 alumni, was highly critical of the report. And quite frankly, you look at the enhanced interrogation methods, is that they're not taking random people off the streets. I mean, this is, thousands of hours of intelligence gathering. It only comes to the point where we know something's going to happen and we need to protect our country and our citizens. And when we know that an individual has information that's critical to protect lives, then all available means. Because the consequence of not doing anything is 9/11. It's the series of things that's happening around the world, and these people are evil. Anyone that would decapitate children, crucify villages, run commercial aircraft into buildings and kill innocent citizens, they have to be handled somewhat differently. And there's this push to have Miranda rights on the battlefield, of somehow thinking that a battlefield
Hold that thought, if you will, 1
overseas is
second,
the same.
Congressman. Hold that thought 1 second. We're going to take a break. Come right back with Congressman Ryan Zinke. We'll pick it up from there as MidPoint continues.